You gotta see the edges. You must see the edges, okay? You must see the edges. Okay, I'm like a little too excited for this. Bonjour Mon Petites, it is I, the fabulous Trice, back with a new video. Long time no see. So I wanted to kind of like ease back in, not kicking the door, waving the 4-4, but I'm not, you know, on no meek shit either. So this is kind of a like in the middle tutorial slash just watch me do me type video. So as you can see, I have these lovely jumbo box braids that my ring keeps getting caught on. But yeah, this style takes literally no time. Well, it takes some time, but not that much time. So and the red is back, girl. The red is back. Yeah! So if you want to see how I do what I do and how you can do it too, then keep watching this video and I will catch you guys on the other side. Okay, so y'all know me and voiceovers ain't never really been the best of friends, but here we go. So I'm using the 65-inch hair from Bobbi Boss. It's the Just Glam, pre-feathered, pre-stretched, whatever they call it. I'm using some Shine and Jam and 3 combs, a rat tail comb, a wide tooth comb, and my Demon brush for detangling purposes. So I'm just going to take my hair out and begin parting it. As you guys can see, I have that little tiny mirror behind me, and then in front of me there's actually a big mirror. So I'm going to start and make sure y'all can see the back, and then I'm going to be quiet and let y'all see how I part my hair out. Again, I'm using 2 mirrors. This is not some magic. I need my mirrors. Since these are jumbo box braids or jumbo knotless braids, I want to make sure that my parts are like pretty straight. Like they ain't got to be super extra crispy straight, but they do need to be straight enough that, you know, they ain't looking all crazy or whatever. So y'all see me keep turning around. I'm checking the mirrors just to make sure I'm in frame, just checking straight to make sure that my parts are straight and all that good stuff. So I ended up with a total of 13 sections, 13 braids, 13 parts, which ended up being 6 in the front, and that was 4 on the top and 1 on each side, and then 7 in the back, which is 2 on the bottom row, 3 in the middle, and 2 on the top row. I start my braids from the back, and I know this part looks OD crooked, but I promise you it ain't. It's just the way that the other hair is laying on top of it. So I'm gonna put some Shine and Jam around my root area, and then I'm gonna take my Demon brush and just brush that through. I'm not gonna put a whole heap of product on it because you don't like that. And it don't look right to me, but. And I've blown my hair out straight enough that it should blend well enough with the braiding hair. But if you use more braiding hair than is in the part, then you should be pretty good to cover up all of your hair. So I'm going to split the section into 3 pieces. I am going to do 1 turn of the braid, right? Like, you know how when you're doing a plait, you have to turn it 3 times? I'm doing 1 turn of the braid. So when my index finger comes out, I'm sliding in that new hair. So I'm gonna do another turn. 1, 2. Then we're gonna get another piece of hair, slide that underneath my index finger, do another turn of the braid. 1, 2. Slide in another piece of hair. Now I know you ain't actually see me slide in that other piece of hair, but just know I did it. But I turned around so that I and you guys can get a better view of how this braid situation is going. Now, this process is repetitive AF, so I'm not going to show every single braid that I do, but I just want you guys to see it from the front. So I'm just sliding it in from the back when I'm not doing it in that opposite direction. I'm just gonna make sure that it's under the front two pieces that I'm doing, so it gets turned into the middle piece. That did not make sense. When I get to the front, right, you're gonna see more closely what I'm doing. So I think I'm just going to let this rock out, and then you guys will be able to see better what I'm doing. But if you can see, I'm placing it right behind the braid in those two sections that are closest to my left hand, and I'm just twisting them together. Again, I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. Because the explanation ain't explaining enough. But yeah, so this is the back braid. This is what we got going on. And I know it looks a little crooked, a little janky, but I did go back and fix it because I don't like my braids looking all bunched up and bulky and weird. That's not cool. But when you're filming, you're trying to make sure you're in frame and all that jazz. But let's get on with the braids. Oh, you see how the little nasty piece is sticking out? I promise y'all I went back and fixed all of that. All of that. Look, I'm about to fix it now. Because they don't like that. So I'm just going to continue to braid this all the way down. And these braids are relatively long. They're down to my bunkie. So, and somebody asked me, when you get to the bottom of the braids, why do people put the braid in their mouth? I'm going to tell you why. Because the positioning of your hand will dictate the grip and the consistency of your braid. And those things determine how loose or tight your braid is and how bulky or consistent the braid pattern itself is, which is why, like I said, I went back and redid this whole braid off camera because I ain't like how it was looking. It was bulky. But again, we put the braid in our mouth so that our hands can rest at a good position so that we can continue to braid the braid with the same grip and the same consistency of the braid pattern. When your hands are too low, you can't grip the braid correctly. You can't braid the braid correctly. So that's why we put the braid in our mouth so that the braid is up high enough that we can grip this joint correctly. Okay. Okay, one more time, I'm gonna show you guys how I start this braid from the back. So I split it in 3 sections. I do 2 turns of the braid. I know in the other one I said I do 1, but I do 2 turns of the braid, slide the hair under my index finger, and then just braid it on into the rest of the hair. Once it hooks on my index finger, I'm good. So I do 2 more turns of the braid, my index finger comes out, slide it right over my index finger, 1, 2, index finger back out, slide it over my finger, 1, 2, and I think I'm gonna keep braiding this one down a little bit further. I like to braid it down like 4 to 8 times before I start switching stuff around and adding more hair in, just so that it's not too thick at the top. I hate when people start, too thin at the top. I hate when people start a braid, right, and they don't add enough hair at the top, and the top of the braid be all thin, and then the rest of the braid be fat. It just don't make no sense. Add enough hair at the top and then start going down. So when I separate my hair out, right, I separate it out into thick strands and thin strands. All the thin strands go towards the top and the middle, and then the thinner strands go towards the bottom of the braid as far as how many pieces I'm adding in. I think I usually add about 6 pieces in, and then that lets me be, you know, good to go as far as my braids are concerned. Again, I'm going to shut up, let the music play, and you guys enjoy. Y'all see how ugly and wonky that one on the left looks versus the one on the right, how it's nice and even and consistent? This is what I'm talking about. This is the reason why I went and did that joint over, because it is not cute.
It's been a long time.
Okay, y'all, I think I have figured out how to make this explanation explain itself correctly. All right, so when you're doing a plait, right, you have 3 strands, a front, a back, and a middle strand. You're alternating the front strand into the middle and the back strand into the middle, right? You're crossing the front into the middle, and then you're going to cross the back into the middle. That's how you make the braid pattern. So when you add the additional hair, you're going to add it to the back 2 strands. So that'll be the middle strand and the back strand. When you cross the front strand into the middle, that locks it in place. Then you cross the back strand into the middle, and that further locks it in place. That's when you're able to add the new strand. That had to make sense, bruh. If it didn't make sense, drop me a comment below and say, Tree, you're not making sense, girl. Let me know, because that makes sense in my head. And it sounded right out loud. All right, we're in the front now. I'm brushing the product through. Make sure you take your edges out, child. Do not braid your edges up in there or you ain't gonna have no edges. If you ain't got no edges and you need to make some edges, do what you gotta do. But just, you know, get them edges out of there. Them is mine, and that's how they came. So hopefully we're gonna get that close up that I was talking about. You're gonna separate out your 3 sections. You have your front strand, your middle strand, and your back strand. Now I'm going to take the middle strand and move it out the way just so you can see the back strand and the front strand, okay? So now you're adding your hair to the middle strand and the back strand. You see that? Girl, y'all better tell me y'all can see that. Now you're going to cross the front strand into the middle strand. So now that's locked in place. Then you cross the back strand into the middle strand. I did that kind of quickly, but you did see it because I saw it. Now you're adding the hair to the back strand and the middle strand, crossing the front into the middle. Make sure the hair is untangled. Then you're going to cross the back strand into the middle, making sure the hair is untangled. Adding a new strand to the back and the middle strand. Going to cross the front under into the middle. Going to cross the back. Untangle it. Then you're going to cross the back under into the middle. Check, make sure everything is thick enough, make sure everything is right. Cross the front under into the middle, cross the back under into the middle. And that's how you do the plait. That's how you add the hair, and I made it make sense. Tell me I made it make sense, because I made it make sense. All right, I'm done here. I'm going to speed it up and finish going through. Now I did want to make a note about the red hair. The red hair obviously is not the same color as my red hair, so what I'm going to have to do is tuck the hair. And basically, in order for me to do that, I have to make sure that I have more braiding hair, or the braiding hair is thicker than my real hair. Also, this braiding hair is the El Cheapo Creepo $1.50 pack from the beauty supply store, so it kind of hurts your fingers. And I had to stretch this out, feather it, whatever you want to call it, and make sure that I added more pieces so that it extended to the correct length. Just a note. I wanted to slow this part down so you can see how I'm tucking the hair. You can see where the pinkish red is coming out of the orange red. So I'm just gonna take the braiding hair and tuck my hair inside of it, put it around, just make sure that it's not showing, and continue to braid the hair over it. Every time I see that pinkish red hair popping out, I'm just gonna take the braiding hair and tuck my hair inside of it, tuck it over it so that it's not showing. And that's the whole meaning of the word tuck, you know what I'm saying? But that's why it's important to have more braiding hair or thicker braiding hair than your strands of real hair, or it ain't gonna tuck properly. Okay, bye.
Oh, let me show you the back. They in my butt, whatever, but I want y'all to see, you know, how far down they go. They are pretty long. I'm gonna be doing a lot of this. A whole lot of Craig. Okay, so I have one question for you. Did you guys enjoy the video? If you did, if you found something useful from it, if you found a technique that you've never used before, if you just saw something in the video that you like, if you had a positive experience from this video, then do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Share this video, drop me a comment. Matter of fact, if you've been down with me since been down with me, leave me a comment, leave me a hey girl, hey, cause I'm back. I think I'm pretty much back. Right? Yeah, I'm back. Or if you just feel like leaving me a comment, just leave me a comment. Or if you're feeling even more wonderful if you're new here, then why don't you consider hitting the subscribe button? That'd be even better. You know, it don't cost nothing. Stuff like that. Is there anything I need to tell you guys? Well, I mean, I have a lot of stuff that I need to tell you guys, but we're not gonna do any of that in this video. I just wanted to say, hey, I'm back. Look at my hair. Do your hair like this too, because I love it and you should too. Follow me on all my social media at @callme_Trice. I believe I'm on TikTok too, but I don't know what that is, so I'll put it somewhere in the video so that you can see it and know. And all the links, of course, will be in the description box. All of the products that I used, the hair that I used, all of it will be in the description box. I think that's all there is to say, and there is no more. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Love you, love you, love you. Mwah. Bye.